A quiet exodus, how U.S. manufacturing is rolling north. It's 2025, and factories across the U.S. are quietly shutting their doors, packing up their equipment, and moving to Canada. This isn't the stuff you see on the evening news, but it's happening, and it's happening fast. Canada is playing the long game and winning, not with cheaper labor, but with smarter incentives, smoother logistics, and better tax breaks. If you've noticed more out-of-business signs lately, you're not imagining things. Here are 10 U.S. states that are losing manufacturing jobs to their northern neighbor. 10. Pennsylvania, Panama. In March 2025, a metal stamping facility in western Pennsylvania quietly closed its doors, only to reopen in Ontario. This wasn't a failure, it was a strategic move. Canada offered everything Pennsylvania wouldn't. Lower power rates, up to 15% cheaper thanks to time-of-use incentives. Faster permits, Ontario clears permits in under 4 months, while PA businesses can wait up to 9. Tax perks, Ontario refunded 100% of the machinery taxes, while PA slapped on a local sales tax. This move also gave the company access to Great Lakes ports, cutting shipping times by 2 full days. Even in steel country, Canada is effectively peeling off U.S. manufacturing one forklift at a time. 9. New York Statue of Liberty. Why did that old electronics plant in the Hudson Valley suddenly go dark? It wasn't a tech failure, it was a strategic exit. In the second quarter of 2025, the entire operation restarted in Montreal, joining Canada's booming Technopark cluster. The numbers tell the story. R&D credits. Quebec's R&D credits reach a wild 36%, more than triple what New York offers. Energy uptime. Montreal's 99.9% energy uptime saved the company over $200,000 in potential downtime. Shipping subsidies. Cross-border shipping subsidies and renewable energy at a minimal premium made the deal too good to pass up. The result? 200 jobs gone and an eerie silence in a town that once buzzed with circuits and solder. 0188, Indiana Ear of Corn. In May 2025, a trio of machine shops in Fort Wayne and South Bend didn't shut down, they packed up and moved to southern Ontario. They were chasing a better deal, and Canada delivered. Faster border processing. Ontario's pre-cleared logistics system cuts border wait times to under 2 hours, compared to Indiana's 6-hour peak waits. Cheaper electricity. Power bills were effectively 10% cheaper in Ontario. Bigger tax refunds. Canada offers a fully refundable 15% federal R&D credit plus another 4.5% from Ontario, while Indiana's are non-refundable scraps. Canada isn't stealing jobs with cheap labor, it's doing it with smarter math and better offers. 7. Kentucky Horse. In March 2025, a plastics factory in Louisville shut down, only to be fully operational across the border in Windsor, Ontario, just 8 weeks later. This was a calculated leap, driven by tax credits. Canada's 30% refundable tax credit for zero-emission vehicle production, plus a 5% Ontario top-up, was the main draw. Industrial uptime. Windsor's grid runs at 99.9% reliability, compared to Kentucky's 98.7%, saving the factory over $150,000 a year in downtime. Tax breaks. Ontario offered 10-year property tax breaks, 100% rebates on new equipment, and even covered 25% of freight costs for 2 years. Canada didn't just lure the business. 5. Missouri Bridge at Night. In March 2025, a precision machining operation in St. Louis employing 85 people quietly moved to Mississauga, Ontario. No big headlines, just a slow roll of equipment and expertise where the numbers worked better. R&D refunds. Canada's program refunds nearly 20% of research labor costs, while Missouri's is a non-refundable 10%. Energy uptime. Mississauga's grid reports 99.8% uptime, while Missouri's is 99.2%, adding up to $150,000 in downtime savings in 1 year. Tax grants. Peel Region, where Mississauga is located, rolled out 12-year property tax grants. St. Louis caps most industrial incentives at 5 years. Canada also offered a fully refundable 15% production jobs tax credit, keeping labor costs competitive while boosting margins. 4. Ohio American football. The state once known as the cradle of U.S. manufacturing is now waving goodbye to its industrial glory. Ohio is bleeding jobs, and it's not just the old Rust Belt blues. In February 2024, Ford announced its EV supply chain investments would expand in Windsor, Ontario, not Ohio. Intel's $20 billion semiconductor project in Licking County is in limbo, with the company citing more competitive foreign partnerships. Ohio's energy costs have risen 25% since 2021, while Ontario offers discounted industrial energy packages. In 2024, Ohio lost over 8,200 manufacturing jobs, with 30% tied to facilities moving or downsizing to Canada. 3. Illinois cityscape. What happens when a state with the third largest manufacturing GDP in the U.S. watches its factories vanish like smoke? You get Illinois in 2025, where the exodus isn't a theory, it's a headline. Job losses. Nearly 12,400 manufacturing jobs were lost in Illinois between Q2 2023 and Q2 2024. Subsidies. Canadian provinces are outbidding Illinois on green manufacturing, offering 40% higher subsidies per facility. Labor disputes. Illinois has seen a 29% increase in worker strikes over the past 18 months, while Canada's worker retention numbers are stable. If this trend holds, Illinois may lose its place among the top 5 manufacturing. 2. Tennessee guitar. The state that's been raking in headlines for its booming auto sector and new EV factories is now facing something it didn't see coming: Canadian poaching. New investments. While Tennessee's factories are still spinning, Canada is quietly stealing the next wave of investment. Volkswagen and Stellantis announced massive EV battery plants in Ontario with combined investments north of $20 billion, the kinds of plants Tennessee used to compete for. Long-term dent. Each of these plants brings 2,500 to 3. 1. Minnesota snowflake. Believe it or not, it's Minnesota that's letting go of factories like it's a clearance sale. A state once known for its strong industrial base is now quietly slipping out of the game, and Canada is swooping in. A perfect storm: rising energy costs, tighter labor markets, higher taxes, and a political climate that some manufacturers are calling anti-business are pushing companies out. Relocation. In late 2024,